up, Cryptologic Podcast listeners? Welcome to episode 204 of the Cryptologic Podcast. Today I have a very special guest. It's funny because this has been like 3 weeks in the making, right? Because we've been trying to get the scheduling together, but we finally got it going. And today I have Alan, the NFT guy, aka the creator of Slum Dogs, the Solana Slum Dogs, and Crypto Cannibals. He is on Twitter at AlanTheNFTGuy. I'll link everything in the description below. His TikTok is slumdogs.eth, right? I believe.
Yeah, that's my TikTok.
Yeah, and that's where I found your page and found how your content creation and everything like that. So without further ado, I want to introduce everybody to Alan. How you doing, my brother?
What's up, man? Good, man. Just got out of the gym. Came in
That's
ready
good.
to make some content.
That's good. That's what's up. So, like this podcast, how it flows is usually I kind of just get like a gauge of like who you are, how'd you get started in the crypto space, what made you start making content, like what made you pull your phone out and just start recording and documenting what you're doing. So, that's my first question. Like what is your story? Like how did you get to where you are here? Like how did you become Alan the NFT guy? Like what happened there?
So it's kind of a funny story. So I have a graphic design background. I've been a graphic designer for about 10 years.
Okay.
So I think so for me, I started August 4th was my first TikTok, but I think the NFT space had been around for a couple of months. I know it had been around for a couple of years, but it had been around for a couple of months where it started to really pick up with like the Bored Ape Yacht Club and things like that. And so I follow a lot of influencers. So I'm very into self-development. So like Grant Cardone, Alex Hormozy, Gary Vee. And so one of the biggest inspirations for me is like Gary Vee. I've been following him for years. And I remember I saw a post where he said that NFTs are like humans discovering fire. Wow. And I thought that was a very huge claim. And I kind of thought, like, okay, why is Gary Vee saying that NFTs are the equivalent to humans discovering fire? Like, that's huge. Like, that's got to be something really big. And so for me, I kind of made a decision to say, you know what, like, I need to figure out what this space is all about. And when it becomes bigger, I want to be that guy. Like, I just want to be the guy that people come to for art, for whatever I decide. I didn't even know what I wanted to do at the time. I just wanted to be the source of information so that when it's a thing, maybe companies or people want to work with me and talk to me, and two, so that I can kind of learn about the space. And so August 4th, I made a TikTok called Alan the NFT Guy, pretty much knowing absolutely zero about NFTs. Yeah. And so what I did is whenever I would learn things in the space, I would just make content on it. So let's say I made a wallet. I would just start talking to people like, hey, this is how you make a wallet, and this is a MetaMask, and this is what NFT stands for. And so I was just really like slowly like talking about NFTs in general and what they do and the ecosystem and everything. And so as I progressed through creating content on TikTok through it, I figured at first I was like, well, NFTs are like JPEGs, it's graphic design. So I was like, well, I'm a graphic designer. Why don't I just start to sell my own collection? And so what I did is I would start to create content around like NFTs, but also like, hey guys, by the way, like this is my ideas. These are my projects. If you guys want to buy them, like go ahead. And so what ended up happening is at first, I didn't really know how NFTs worked. So I would make like a shit ton of collections. I have probably like 40 collections that I haven't even done. And so like for me, it was like every time I had an idea, I would go and make content around it, or I would go make it a collection. Mm-hmm. And it probably wasn't until like my 20th one that I did that it was Crypto Cannibals. And that was like the only one that made money. It was like the only one. I remember the first day I launched it, it was on September 29th of last year. I made $1,000 in one day. And I was like mind blown. I was like, what the fuck? Like, so I work at Chili's, bro. And for me at the time, like I probably make like $600, $500 a week. Mm-hmm. And I remember I made $1,000 in one day selling like graphic design. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, no, bro, I was crying, dude. I was literally, there's a video of me. You can't find it anymore because I got deleted. But yeah, bro, I was crying. I was like, what the hell? Like, this is insane. So for me, like, I come from a very, I wouldn't say poor family, but like we were growing up, like I used to live in a trailer for a large percentage of my life. So like for us to come across $1,000, it was really unheard of. And so for me, it was like really like that kind of like sparked an obsession. And so what I did is I started to make content even more and more. I would wake up at 6 a.m, get on live, get on TikTok, create content, do videos all day, just all day doing all this stuff. And I remember I was still working at Chili's at the time. And I was thinking, I was like, okay, I sell like one or two a day, which was about like 150 bucks, 300 bucks that I would make every day selling these NFTs. And I used to think like, if I dedicated 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week to this every single day, like I think I could sell a lot.
Mm.
And so after a couple of months of doing it, I just decided to go all in. I quit Chili's and I just kind of never looked back. Just went all in on content creation, building. My start is very unique because like for my cannibals, that's what I used to sell. So what I used to do is I used to make TikToks, and when people would go on my TikToks, they would ask like for requests. So they would say, "Hey, can you make a Deadpool version of your cannibal?" And I'd be, "All right, cool,
Oh,
I can make a Deadpool."
yeah.
And then someone would ask, "Can you make Goku?" And then I'd go make a Goku. And so what would happen is 9 times out of 10, the people that would request like the art, they would go and buy it. And so essentially, that's what the OG cannibals are. They're 500 pretty much one on ones. Like literally, almost every single cannibal is one on one.
It's
It's like they're all
custom.
rare.
They're all one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so it was like selling them custom pieces. And so what I did is probably over the course of 5 months, I sold 500 cannibals. Like literally every single day for about fucking 8 to 12 hours a day. Literally selling custom made NFTs every single day, growing my Discord, growing the community, and just really from the ground up. I mean, I don't even know if there's anybody in the space that has kind of like the way I started. It's a very
Well,
unique way of kind of getting into the space.
that's amazing. I like to just say what you just said at the end. I think yours is very unique because you came from nothing. Like, and if you look at if you zoom out, you entered the NFT space. You didn't have a brand already. You didn't have you weren't like Chris Brown dropping his NFT and not even able to sell out. Right? I saw people were talking
Yeah,
about that. You no one knew who you were essentially. You just like, hey, this is what I'm gonna offer. This is what I do, and you built it from scratch. And that, like, the potential and the ceiling is like limitless. And what you've already accomplished so far, and like, what is it, less than a year now? It's like this year was when you started. Or was it last
yeah.
year?
But about 10 months,
Yeah.
10 months, we've helped publish about 6 collections. They all sold out, and we've published probably about 10 total. And then I just launched the marketplace 2 days ago,
Yeah,
and now we sell.
I want to talk about that later because I saw your posting about it, and I remember I did you a comment. I was like, this is the time when builders build. You know, like this is the time where everyone's scared and running away. What you build during this time, when the euphoria comes back, you take off, and that's why like what you said. I was like, man, it's inspiring because you came in, you were working, you had another job, a regular job, and it just changed your life. Like, and that's what I remember learning about NFTs when Gary Vee said it. And I call people who listen to Gary Vee like Gary Vee babies because we all kind of like respect what he says and what he does in regards to entrepreneurship, finding your passion and basically getting paid to live your life, right? Being free.
Right.
And people who are like attuned to that, we kind of like align, right? You connect. And when I saw you on your journey, I was like, man, this guy is going in. Like, he's going in on what he's doing. And I honestly didn't fully grasp like what you were doing. I was like, I need to talk to this guy and see what he's doing because this is something that could change the world for a lot of people. Because your story can inspire other artists. Like, you went from working at Chili's to doing what you love, designing digital art. It's almost like a tattoo artist, right? And then they have like if you're a tattoo artist, you're limited to your physical location and people having to come to you or you coming to them. This is addicting to some people, like getting custom art, and you're able to just create art and send it to people with a click of a button. And that's how I feel like that's how you've been able to grow your community and grow your reach and everything like that. That's amazing. That's super dope, bro. That's like inspiring. So in that regard, so when you started doing this, did you already have like your end goal and plan, or you just going with the flow? And then how, how
Uh,
how how did you get to where that was to the point of building this marketplace? Like, I want to talk about that marketplace. So how did you figure that out?
so when I started, I'll be honest, I had absolutely no idea what NFTs really did. I was like, all right, like people buy art, and that's what
Yeah.
I do. And so I started selling a lot of custom art, but then as I got into the space, I got introduced to things like, oh, you need to have like utility and value and discords and do
Mm.
stuff. So then I was like, okay, like what am I doing? What am I creating? Oh, well, I'm creating these cannibals. So by the way, Cannibals is a NFT fashion skateboard brand. I started Cannibals when I was 18. I'm 27 right now. I don't know if you can see it on there, but you can see it like on
This
my
right?
yeah, but I don't even really tweet on it on that much. But you can click like the website and you can see a little bit about it. But so essentially what I did is when I was 18, I made a brand called Cannibals, and it was a skateboard brand. And so then that's what I was like, okay, just make a skateboard brand again and launch it as a project. And so I started to again create like the content around like crypto cannibals, things like that. But again, I think what people like misunderstand is like, I'll give you an example. When I started, I really didn't have an idea of what to do. I was like, okay, do A, B, and C, and this is the dream. And you put out a roadmap, which is your really like your vision for your project.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I did is I started to execute on it. And I have like I've done skateboards, I've done merchandise, I've done hats, I've done shirts. Um, I've gone to NFT NYC. I've sponsored NFTSD. Um, and so what we did is I just kind of like, it's a lot different than a lot of roadmaps because the things that I want to do are super huge.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like for me, it took me a while to do what I do. Like I always tell people like I think I'm like the most successful unsuccessful NFT artist. And the reason I say that is because like I don't have my project's not sold out. I planned to make 4,200 of these cannibals, and I made 500 like handmade ones, and then I thought like I can't do that for all 4,200. So the rest of them I made them on a smart contract. And in the smart contract, there's 3,700 cannibals available. Those are the V2s. And I haven't sold those out. And so for me, like I even like today, like I still grind that shit every single day,
Yeah.
working towards getting it. But it's cool because like my floors have maintained throughout the entire year. I only have about 20 cannibals listed. Right now, my V2 floors are up, my Slumdog floors are up, and I'm not even sold out. And I think I
Wow.
like to think like, okay, like why is that? And I really think it has to do with like because I'm very a public figure as far as like I'm always in Discords, I'm always on TikTok, I'm always on social media, I'm always on Twitter, and it gives people the opportunity to conversate and talk to me on another level compared to like maybe other creators where let's say you're in another project and you just don't fuck with them anymore and you leave, right? And whereas to me, you can kind of like, hey Alan, like what's going on? And I have a question and da da da. And because I'm very interactive with my audience and the people that are in my community, it allows me to create like an actual community. It creates a foundation
Yeah.
of people that like you, know you, trust you, and have grown with you, right? Like I have people on my social media that have been with me since I made my first TikTok. And
Wow.
and it's the same thing for them, right? Like they see the journey, they see, and bro, I've cried on live. I've done a bunch of shit because I care about people. I care about, the people that interact with me. I care about, people that are in my circle. For me, it's a lot more than just NFTs. Like I wanna inspire, and I think I have a lot of people that have created their own projects just because they saw me create mine. And so like they've been inspired to kind of like follow their journey. And for me, I've always tried to kind of like follow that route, like always trying to preach as much like positivity and encouragement and but also helping people recognize that it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like when people and that's the thing I think like most people don't understand, and that's why I created the marketplace. And also like for me, it's about, I think the teams that are going to really thrive in the NFT space are the ones that are able to adapt and evolve to current market conditions. I think that if the team is not, so I'll give you an example. Let's say I tell my community, hey guys, we're going to do metaverse, right? Because that's the meta. Everyone else is doing metaverse. That's what we're going to do. If I just solely focused on that and the metaverse crashed and it's not a thing anymore, but I was just so just stuck on that idea of metaverse, I would have failed because it's not what works now. And so teams have to be able to adapt and evolve with current market conditions. And so for me, what PFP DAO and what this PFP marketplace is that it's an adaptation and evolution of my community and what I've done. And so what we do now is I really focus on my strengths. So like right there, like go down a little bit, you can see those are some of the collections that we've helped publish. Go up, right there.
Right here.
So like Slum Dogs, the Cannibals, the Creamy Friends, Noti Gang, and then I have like the High Indians. We designed all of those collections, and they all did well. I mean, the Creamy Friends did 700,000 out the gate. They sold out. Noti Gang sold out within 2 minutes. They did great. My Slum Dogs sold out. My Cannibals sold out. High Indians sold out. And so for me, it's like, okay, what are you good at? And for us, like, we're really good at art. I feel like I have an excellent grasp of good quality, like, illustration. And so I wanted to play on that strength. And so what I did is PFP Marketplace, what it is it's creating a Web2 graphic design company for Web3. And
Yeah.
so what I'm doing is I noticed that a lot of problems with the Web3 space is they're contingent upon market conditions. And so what that means is if the marketplace, if the NFT space is doing bad, your NFT is going to do bad just by default, because that's just what NFTs are. Like, they
Yeah.
go based off, if Ethereum's high, your NFT is worth more. If it's low, your NFT is worth less. And so what this is it allows me to create a Web2 business and then incorporate Web3 into it. And so what we do is, instead of competing against other people, we collaborate with them, right? So, like, let's say, John, let's say you wanted to make your own collection. And this is one of the big problems in the space that a lot of people don't realize. It's hard. It's hard to market. It's hard to get your face out there. It's hard to create good quality design. It's hard to run a Discord. It's hard, and it takes money too.
Yeah.
And so for us, we help people navigate that. I've seen. So I'll give you an example. Since I've launched, I've probably inspired like 7 people to make their own collections. I don't even think like any of them have sold over like 2 Ethereum. And I'm not saying
Wow.
that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying that, like, and I try to sit down and think, like, why can't they sell 2 Ethereum, but every project that I put out sells out? And it's because there's a lot of factors that go into it. It's graphic design, it's money into marketing, it's your reach, it's your audience, it's the people that like you, know you, trust you, it's your Discord. And so, like, for us, that's what PFP Market is. It's we help you purchase high quality IP. So, like, let's say, John, let's say you wanted to purchase a project, right? Let's say
Yeah.
you wanted to make your own, right? So what we do is we sell. So those are the collections that are available for purchase right now. Any of those, they're all available for purchase. So, like, let's say you just click on that ape style and you're like, or that party cat, and you're like, yo, this is super dope. I really love fuck with the art style. You can purchase the IP to it and you own it. It's yours. It's yours. And so then what we do is we sit down with you and we help. Obviously, like, if you don't want to think of the traits, we'll do them for you. But we sit down with you and, like, okay, what kind of traits you want? How do you want this to set up? And what we do is we create the traits, the metadata, and all that. And then we also guide you. We're like, okay, you're going to need this. You're going to need to reach out to these people. You're going to need to market this way. You're going to need to talk to this. You're going to need to set up your Discord this way. And so what it's doing is, instead of you creating your own project with no idea, no experience, no connections, no art experience, we're kind of shortcutting that. It's like, we're going to do all that for you to give you a higher likelihood of succeeding in the space. And that's essentially what we do. I mean, we've helped 6 projects launch. They all sold out right away. They all made money. They all made 10 times more than what they paid us to create the art. And that's what we do. And it is kind of, so you can click on that again if you want to see it. The cheapest one that we sell them for $5,000, cheapest. Like, that's the cheapest you can get one.
What?
Cheapest you can get one. Yeah, that's the cheapest you can.
Amazing.
That's the cheapest you can purchase the IP, and it goes all the way up to 20 grand. It just depends on like how much you want in the, like, how much images you need, how much
Yeah.
marketing you have. And I think, again, that's a big they're all going to be $5,000. That's like the starting price.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah, so once someone purchases the IP, we take it off the marketplace and they own it forever. And now we help them navigate the space, help them launch the project or whatever we need to do, whatever they pay us for, and we help them navigate through that. And it's really like, I mean, I like to say, if you look at the stats, like I said, every single collection that's ever hired us has all made their money back in tenfold. Creamy Friends, 700,000 out the gate. My Cannibals have sold up to 100,000, depending on what ETH is. Naughty Gang, they've already done like a market cap of like 150,000. They had a top range of 20 soul floor. High Indians did 90,000 the first day. The Solana Slumdog did about 52K. So it's like every project that works with us definitely makes 10 times more than what they pay us to make the art.
Yeah.
And so we have a service that we can provide people, but it's valuable. It works, and we understand how it works. And I think, like, most people, what they do is they don't have an understanding of good quality art. They don't know how to market. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know how to set up a Discord. And so for us, like, we help you navigate all of that to give you a higher likelihood of succeeding. Now, I will say this stuff is not for the everyday average person. I'm
Yeah.
selling to business. I'm selling to degens. I'm selling to Web3 enthusiasts and business owners, because that's what I'm marketing to.
Yeah.
I'm marketing to people that have 20, 15, $10,000 laying around there. You're like, I want to start a project. And again, and that's what we do. And then if you don't like any of the IP that we have available, you can request to hire our team. And then we can kind of look at what you have going on and just kind of help you navigate the space and help you, again, give you a higher likelihood of succeeding when you're, going to launch your own project.
So these are ready-made NFT collections ready for your team to scale and take it to the next level. If someone were to just say, hey, I want to own this
Yeah.
IP.
So so let's say you purchased the IP for the Party Cats. We would set up Zoom meetings with you and then say, okay, you own, this is your art. This is 100% yours. How much do you need? Because if you only pay the $5,000, you're only getting 1,000 images. That's the most it goes up to. If you pay 10 grand, it'll go up to 5,000. If you pay 20,000, you get 10,000 images. It just depends on what you need.
Okay.
But let's say you're okay with the 5 grand. What we do then is create a plan with you. It's like, okay, do you have a Discord? No. Do you have a social media? No. Do you have blah, blah, blah? No. Okay, cool. We help you set up all of that so that we can begin to market. Because obviously, even if someone purchases the IP, they're not going to launch it tomorrow.
Yeah.
They can't. You need to build up the hype. And so we would kind of like help you navigate how to promote yourself on social media. We'd connect you to Web3 devs. We'd connect you to marketers. And again, I tell people, like, it costs money. I'll give you an example. The project that I've launched that cost me the least was $8,000. Like, that's the least I've spent on launching a project. It's the least. $8,000 is the least it's cost me to launch a project. And I had to pay $32,000 after it launched to marketers, developers, community managers. I had 2 web devs on it. I had a marketing team that had 4 people on it. So I had to spend, if you count it all, bro, I had to spend a total of $40,000 just to get the Slumdogs launched.
Wow.
Like, it costs money. Like, people underestimate how much money it actually costs to launch a project. And I think that's why a lot of people fail. And I also tell people, like, you need 2 things to be successful in the NFT space. Number 1, you need an audience. Like, you need an audience. If you don't got an audience, don't even try to launch a project.
Start building.
Build your audience first. Yeah, you got to build. You got to have people that like, know, and trust you. And number 2, you need money. And if you don't got money, you need an audience. If you don't got an audience, guess what? You need money. That's literally it. Like, there's
one of the 2.
There's no secret fucking formula. There is no it's literally either you have an audience or you have money. And I'll give you an example. Creamy Friends, they're the most successful that we've done work for. They did about, I think, like 700, 600,000 launch day. But their marketing budget was 50 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. So he put in $50,000, and I'll give you this. He put in $50,000 in marketing spend before he even launched it. He had a Discord with 40,000 followers, and he had a TikTok with 150, 200,000. So it's like he has the formula to launch a successful project, right?
He has both, yeah.
Yeah, and so then you have like someone like the High Indian who spent $0 on marketing, but he had an audience of people that liked, knew, and trusted him. He has like 120,000, and he was able to sell out because he had the audience. Again, so you either have the audience and the money, or you have one or either, and you can't. And if you don't have either, you're gonna be in for a lot of hurt. You're gonna be in for a lot of. It's not gonna. It might work out, but it's very highly unlikely that it won't.
Wow. And this is amazing. So this is all stuff. This is something that came from your initial beginning when you sold your first NFT, and then you got to this point where now you have a full-fledged business that's going to help scale other NFT projects and help other people build their platforms. That's amazing. That's like, this is only the beginning of the potential of what can be from this. Cause this is huge. This is huge. And it's like crazy because like at any time during your journey, I remember seeing that you could have stopped, or a lot of people would have been derailed. Like, you got your TikTok when you were going live, you were giving away NFTs, right? Or what were you doing?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah,
I was doing a live giveaway, and they just like, fuck you, gone,
and then
gone.
all your audience was gone. And I remember we followed each other, and then the next day, it's like this person's no longer exists. I was like, wait, what? What happened? It was like I was like, what? And then I saw you pop up on the new one, and I was like, man, like, tell me what that experience was like, because this is amazing. Like this wasn't around yet. Like this wasn't created yet. You could have stopped, or you could have said, you know what, this is horrible, or you could have done something completely different. That's crazy. Like that probably set you up to this point. Like what was your thought process around that time? Like, did you think about
So I'll
giving
give you an
up?
example. No, so I'll give you an
Okay.
example. So I'm 27, right? I'm 27 years old. I've been seeking personal development for over 10 years. I go to like Gary Vee events, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, 10x, all that shit. And so for me, I'm used to failing. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it that way. Like so me, failure, I don't really see it as a it's not really a setback. I think it's more like a setup. Like, okay, learn, adapt, evolve. And people think like, oh, I was able to be successful over the course of 1 year. No, it took me 10 years to get here. It took me 10 years of
Yeah.
failing, 10 years of struggling. I used to do door to door. I worked at Chili's. I fucking had a social media company. I had a gym. Like I was fucking failing left and right, like trying to figure out what I needed to do to succeed in life. And so when my TikTok got taken down, it was nothing new. I was like, all
Yeah.
right, bet, fuck it, I'll do another one. You can't stop me. Like what the fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I see the space. That's how I see the world. And again, I tell people like it's not that we're the best and we're gonna succeed because we're the best. We're gonna succeed because I'm persistent and I'm not gonna stop. That's it. It's hard. It's hard to beat the person that doesn't stop. It's hard to beat the person that keeps showing up every single day because it is what it is, you know. And to me, you know, when I grew up chasing personal development and watching Gary Vee and Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone, they all tell you the same shit. They're like, you got to hustle, you got to wake up, and when it gets hard, you got to do it again, and you got to wake up the next day and do it again and again and again. And so for me, I had a little bit of base that I was able to create a foundation off of, right? And trust me, my slum dogs the other day were 0.28. I have people on my Discord, bro, and it's the truth. I have people on my Discord and they go into other Discords. They start talking shit about me like Alan's a scammer. He's a rug puller. He's a blah, blah, blah. I've been in the space every single day for the last year. Right now, my floor is yesterday it was one soul. But you see what I'm saying? Like for me, it's nothing. It's like nothing new.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, fuck it. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Continue to provide value as much as I can, even if my floor is low or I got to get it up, whatever I got to do. I don't have options. That's how I look at it. Like you have no choice. You have to either make it happen or figure something out. And that's how I live my life, and that's what got me here. And so I know for a fact that I'm right. I know for a fact that if I'm consistent, I'm persistent, I keep going, I keep pushing myself, I keep going to new limits, like I'm unstoppable. Like nothing can
Yeah.
stop me because I proved myself right. And the hardest part is not getting there. The hardest part is like, bro, I'll give you an example. I remember I went to a Tony Robbins event with negative $300 in my bank account. Negative $300. And I thought to myself, I remember I told a friend, I was like, look, and I showed her my bank account. And I was like, I have negative $300 and I'm going to this fucking Tony Robbins event. And she was telling me, this was like 5 years ago. And she was like, well, like, you know, I love what you put out. I love how you are. I love the motivation and shit. But, you know, it's hard to believe when your bank account looks like that. And I said, and I told her, I remember I told her, I was like, that's the beauty of it. I believe
Yeah.
it. I believe I'm going to get there. I believe I'm going to get there. Bro, I have a tattoo. Watch, and I'll show you. Can't really see it. So, like, right here, you can't see it. But this tattoo right here,
Yeah.
it says, I always knew in Arabic. And it's on the left side of
Wow.
my heart. And so for me, I got this tattoo when I was dead broke. I got it when I was dead broke. And so for me, it's like, and I'm not even close to where I'm going to be. I think I'm going to die a billionaire. Like, for sure, I don't know how, but I'm going to figure it out. But I think I'm going to die a billionaire. I just know. I just know. I don't know how to explain to you
You
why
just
or
waiting
how,
for
but I just think
you just waiting for reality to
and
catch up to you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so for me, I got this tattoo when I was broke because I want to get to the point where I'm making millions and billions. And I tell people, like, I believe in this shit when I had nothing. When I had nothing, when there was nothing there. But I just believed in it so much that nothing could stop me. And I also do a lot of shit that makes me like reinforce those beliefs. Like, why would I get a tattoo if I'm not gonna go do
Yeah.
shit?
An
Like, what the fuck? Like,
affirmations.
am I just gonna be oh, I got a tattoo because it's funny? No, you got a tattoo now. You got to prove it. You got to prove it to yourself. Bro. One time in college, I stood up. I swear to God, I stood up in front of the class. You know, like when they make introduce yourself, like, hey,
Yeah.
introduce yourself. I swear to God, I'm not even lying. I stood up in front of the class and I said, my name is Alan Reyes. I know you don't know me, but in 8 years, Google me and you'll know who I am. That's what I said. That's all I said. I said that shit. I sat down.
You're
Some
on.
kids started laughing.
Yeah.
Bro, some kids started fucking laughing. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I know where I'm going.
And it's already like you're already getting to that point. You're already building the infrastructure for that to actually that's going to be a reality to them. It is a reality to you already, but for them it's going to be a reality because you're already doing what is required to get there. People are going to come to you for this type of knowledge for the NFT space and how to build from ground zero and stuff like that because you're going to be one of the pioneers of this. Like Gary Vee, he went on and it's like, well, I'm going to launch my NFT project. And he did. And then he launched his first utility-based event with it. And the NFT was the tick for a VCon. Like that was something that he talked about and people didn't understand it. And then he did it. So, but you know, and what you're doing is it's going to pay off in the next like 2, 3, 5 years, even to where people are going to start going, well, wow, like, how do I do this? Like, how do I start this journey? How do I build my own website or build my own marketplace or whatever the case may be? And it's amazing because we're still so early. Like, that's what I think. I think we're still so early that OpenSea literally only has ETH or Solana. Like, there's still many other platforms out there or layers out there, layer ones out there that can provide NFTs like XRP, HBAR, Avalanche, like, there's so much more to come and so many more creators and so many more artists and developers that are going to be running into this space. And you're going to have the platform to accept, you know what I'm saying, everybody from developers all the way to people who just want to get their own IP started. So that's huge. And that's why I was like, the builders are building during this time. And I was like, I don't know what you're building. I was like, I don't know what it is, but it looks dope. And I was like, I need to figure out what this is. Like, I want to learn about it. Like, that's awesome. Like, that's dope, bro. Like super, super excited for your future. That's amazing. So I wanted to ask you about your community, right? So you said when you started your community or, you know, your journey, what you were doing was just kind of documenting stuff that you learned. So,
yeah.
And that was on your first TikTok and you were doing, documentation of, this is what I did. This is my NFT. I sold my first one, etc. How do you make a wallet, etc. And people started following you, right? And they were asking questions. I assume like, how do you do this? How do you do this?
Yeah.
And when you started doing the live streams, like, what was that all about? I think I was like on the tail end of it. So I remember being in one and then kind of seeing how lit it was, and then it just went away. And I know like, okay, well, TikTok doesn't like people getting free stuff, I guess, right? It's stupid. So. Yeah. What did you do with those lives? Like for anyone that wasn't able to be a part of it, right? Like what was that like for you?
So how do you mean? Like what did I do for the people that weren't a part of it?
Like, because I know that your audience, whoever like was gonna watch this or something, they know because they were there. So anyone that was that's watching this that wasn't a part of those lives, like what were you doing in those lives? Like what was those lives about?
Oh, so I would go live every single day.
Yeah.
And really what I did is I would just have like my iPad. So I have like my iPad and my pen and stuff.
Yeah.
And I would just be recording like myself drawing. So I'd just be drawing and then people would come in and be like, oh, what's up? And just fucking hang out. And then while I'm doing like a cannibal, that's what I'm saying. Like someone would be like, oh, make a fucking Hulk. And I'd be like, all right, bet. So I fucking start making the Hulk. So I would make the Hulk on live and then I would mint it on live. And then they would go, and then normally the person that asked for the art would go and purchase it.
And it was like from beginning to sale or whatever, from mint.
Yeah, like the whole thing literally like they saw the design process, the mint, the publication, and then they would go and get it. It's funny because I would have people like, wait, I don't have money in my fucking wallet yet. Like, don't post it, like shit like that. And so like, yeah.
That's what I wanted to know. I'm like, okay. Like, I want to know, because you were drawing. I was like, all right, were you, like, talking or just chilling? Like, you're probably playing music. Like, that's lit. That's tight. That's tight.
Yeah, so I'm doing both. I listen to a lot of, like, Alan Watts, Ram Dass and shit. Mm-hmm. So, like, I would tell people, and so I was very honest from the get-go. Like, I live at home with my mom and shit. Mm-hmm. So I would tell people, like, guys, I fucking live at home with my mom. I love to listen to rap and all that shit, but I like Ram Dass and Alan Watts a lot. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I literally have, like, so many lives where I'm just chilling, listening to, like, Alan Watts, which is a philosopher. but like he'll be like in the background and I'm just chilling drawing, and then people be talking about their life and what they got going on, and just kind of vibing with me, just working and just chilling, hanging out. A lot of times I smoke weed, so like I'd be high on the
Yeah.
streams.
That's so, bro. That's what I was trying to like, cause that's like basically what I was trying to ask, but I know how to like not the weed, but like the whole process of your live stream, cause that's tight. Like that's unique and that's like organic. Like you're just chilling, people just come in, and that's what live streams are supposed to be about. Just people vibing and people that they follow. Like, oh, how you doing, man? Like, what's up? Like, you just have a chat. The chat's rolling in, questions rolling in, and that's tight that you're doing a live drawing and you mint it, and people see the process. Like, oh wow, like NFTs are like people fall in love with NFTs even more, and they're building that trust with you. And hey, join the Discord, join the Discord. That's and one other thing, right? The thing I want to talk about is icy tools, and I got this from you. I gave you credit. I was like, oh, this is like when I started talking about NFTs, I'm like, this is where I got this site from, was from AlanTheNFTGuy, right? And I remember you posting a TikTok and giving people plays, saying, hey, this, so like a reason why, the volume or whatever the case, somebody just tweeted this out, whatever the case may be, say, hey, this thing is probably gonna da, 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 da. And then like 6 hours later, a day later, you're like, look, my previous video, I said the floor was like 0.002 ETH. Now the floor is like 0.9 ETH. You just made $700 in 6 hours or whatever. And I remember you doing that. I was like, that's crazy, you know. And that's how you also gain people to go, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. And then they flood into your Discord, and you're building that community. So what's up with icy tools? How did you find it, and how do you use it to your advantage? Like, is it just like how I said it? Like you just kind of play the game in regards of.
So like so it depends on the market you're in, right? Because like back then, bro, there was a time, and I swear to God, I'm not even bullshitting. There was a time in the Cannibals Discord
Yeah.
where I did 10 calls, 8 of them hit. 8 of them. And bro, I'm not talking about hitting for a little bit. I'm talking about thousands of dollars. Like I had a 16-year-old kid in my Discord that was following like my plays.
Yeah.
He put in $300. This kid made $8,000 off one play. Yeah. So it's funny, and but again, NFTs were going like super. I was super good. I was like, I know the science. I understand how it works. Like I'm fucking on it. And there was a time where I was hitting, bro. I was hitting every single fucking collection. I thought I was like, this is probably gonna pop off, and it would. And right now it's a lot different. I can't say the bear market is so hard to predict. I can't even. I've done so. Like I give an example too. I've done maybe like 5 calls in the last couple of weeks, and maybe only 1 hit, and the rest fucking failed. And so it's hard. The market has changed a lot of the dynamic of what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
But for me, like in my Discord, if you own a Cannibal V2 or an OG, I give you access to a bunch of tools in my Discord that allow you to see different things in it. So like I follow the top 20 most successful whales on ETH. And so as soon as they start buying, you'll get notified. I'll give an example. What's the all-time high for Goblin Town?
Where
Fucking 7 ETH, 9 ETH.
9 ETH, yeah.
My whales started buying it at 0.04.
So you saw the signal. I was like, okay, these guys are buying.
I didn't buy it. Yeah. I didn't buy it, but we had I saw the day they bought it, and I was like, that's kind of weird, and I didn't go into it. But yeah, like everybody. Imagine you, and again, imagine you would have just followed one time, bro. I'll give you one of my biggest fuck ups. One time I remember I saw this collection called Art of Seasons, Teos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw that one. TOS. I got to like an all-time high of like 2 Ethereum. I remember I called it out. I told everybody like I'm going all in on this collection. I spent like $6,000 to get it. I had like 8 of them. It's called Teos, Taos. Let me see if you can find it. Teos, The Art of Seasons. That's what it's called. It's by Dirty Robot, which is a famous NFT influencer.
The art.
Yeah, The Art of Seasons.
Is it on Twitter?
It should be. Let me see. I'm gonna try to look it up real quick. But so
Teos is the Art of Seasons.
You found it?
No, not yet. I'm trying to figure out.
Let me see it. Here, I'm gonna
is it on OpenSea? Is it a Solana project or?
No, it's an Ethereum
Robot.
project.
This one?
Let me see. Hold on, I'm not even looking at the. Where we at?
Like samurai. There's like a samurai.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So that project, bro, I called it out on my Discord. I told everybody, like, I'm going all in. I'm going to go crazy on it. I bought 8 of them. Okay.
Wow.
I bought 8 of them. I spent like $6,000. And so what happened, it's funny because so what happened, literally the day it revealed, it dropped, bro. I bought like all of them at like 0.1 and it dropped to like 0.04. And I was like, fuck, like, oh man, like I just told my community to go all in. I went all in on it. Like I fucked up. And so what I did, my dumbass, I sold them all. I sold them all for a loss. I was like, maybe I'll get like $2,000 back. Fuck it, $4,000 loss. Not even a week later, them bitches are two each.
And
I
that was
missed
when
out.
ETH was like 3K.
I missed out, bro, on $56,000.
Oh.
I just needed to wait 1 week. I just needed to wait 1 week. And so for me, it just kind of reaffirmed like at least I know what I'm looking for. I understand the dynamic of NFTs. I understand what to look for. But again, it's different buying in a bear than a bull. It's way different. I've come to realize that now because again, I look at projects and I'm like, is this gonna do well? I don't know. But I do have a lot of good people on my Discord. Like I have Victor who does my ETH calls. He's done 3 calls and 2 of them have hit.
Yeah.
3 mints, 0.09. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like Victor understands the bear market. So I get people in my corner that have better skills than me. You know what I mean? Like better, maybe a detail, and they come from different backgrounds. And so like, it just depends on where you're going. But yeah, man, one time again, that time I was hitting everything, bro. Everything we were touching was turning into gold. I was like, damn. Literally, bro, like I swear to God, it was not uncommon for me to make a $20,000 month just flipping. Like I was flipping 20K months like for 3 months straight. I was like, oh my God, fucking this is the insane. And so I should have what I should have done, which what most people should have done, but now it's like hindsight. I should have taken profits at my all-time highs. Then you have like the market crash and fuck that eradicated like 80-90% of what I had, bro. Literally like going from 30-40K to fucking 5K. Like damn, all my shit's gone. And that's the reality of a fucking bear market. Yeah. It's like, man. And then it's like, all right, well, now you know, right? And
for NFTs and crypto.
So no, for real, bro. And so what I appreciate about this, what I'm so happy about this is, okay, now I know that whenever the next bull run goes, take your fucking profits.
That's what I'm saying now, bro. Bro, I'm getting killed right now. Because last year I was let's go. Come on. Keep it going. Don't sell. Now I'm like, yo, take some profits. Protect yourself. Secure something. Just take some profits. And people are like, no, you don't know what you're holding. I'm like, dude, everyone said that to me last year. Like, I know what I've been through it. I've been through holding a quant.
And I think it's also like a good opportunity because like, let's say you would have taken profits. If you still love a project, you could have bought 20 more of them.
Buy back in, get triple what you bought initially. Like, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, take some type of profits.
And so, like, for me, it's a really good learning experience to be like, all right, like, fuck it, you know. I don't really think it as a loss because now I feel like that's going to set me up for future success.
Yeah. It's probably going to make you even better. It's going to make you better because you saw the worst of it. You saw the worst of it, and you're like, well, this is not going to happen again. And your emotion is going to completely be different. Like, when another project you're in goes to a floor of like 3 ETH, you know exactly what you're going to do. You know exactly what you're not just sit there and wait. Oh, wait, might get to 5. Might get to 6. Nope. I'm up like 5-10x my money. I'm taking it. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like you sell it, right? Or whatever. You flip it or whatever. And that's what I've seen. A lot of people were doing back then. They were flipping. Everyone was flipping and making money. And then people were holding. And then right when the crash happened, gone.
You're all gone. Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like I was having great months. And what I should have done is probably like, maybe if I made a $20,000 a month,
at least half of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, put 10,000 in the bank and then 10,000 reinvested, and then make money again, and then and I was like, nah, fuck that. NFTs are the
all
future.
In or nothing, yeah.
But yeah, and which I do believe they are. It's just like now there has to be a new stage and evolution in it to get to the next era of it.
Yeah, and I think that's what's gonna come next. We don't know what it is yet, just like the internet. Right, the internet, we started off with dial-up and everything, and then high-speed internet, and then social media came in and changed everything.
a great way to look at it is PFP market was developed in a bear market, right?
Yeah.
It was developed in a bear. So it's like, okay, what projects, who's innovating, who's creating, who's doing?
Yep.
And I mean, I think there's a lot of, wasn't Solana created in a bear market, if I'm not mistaken?
I
I
believe
think
so.
Solana, there's like a bunch of really good innovation that comes out of bear markets because you're forced to innovate. You're forced to create new shit that people don't know or heard of or have seen.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. So when it comes to NFTs, like, what is your? Do you have a favorite like network, like layer one? Like, do you like ETH more, like Solana more? Do you like are there other layer ones that you want to get in touch with, like XRP or Avalanche or HBAR or Cadena or ADA, when if they finally get up the ground? Like, or do you don't care? You just whatever's working right now or whatever.
Yeah, that's how I am. Like wherever the market goes. Like if everyone decides that next year XRP is the meta, then fuck, let's go to XRP. I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not sticking to just one thing. I mean, we're on Solana, we're on Ethereum, but I will say
Solana's
this:
yeah.
as a creator standpoint, it is way better to launch on Solana because it
Mm-hmm.
costs 10 times less than ETH.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably like so I'll give an example. Just in gas fees for me to transfer NFTs to people on ETH, I've probably spent about $40,000 just on gas fees.
Funny, yeah.
Yeah, just gas
The
fees.
horror
You know how much I
stories.
spent? You know how much I've spent on Solana? Probably like $50.
That's like a 10,000, 5,000% difference. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, and
40
so
G's, 50 points.
as a creator standpoint, I think Solana's like you're gonna save a lot more money, and it allows you to do more with less.
That's amazing. So after profile, what is it? Profile pick market,
PFP market.
PFP market. What is next for you? Do you have anything planned next, or you're still winging it? You're still not winging it, but you're still let's start building. Let's just keep going what we're doing. Do you have any, like, what's your
So
overall goal?
so right now I have PFP DAO, and the way I really want to set it up is, again, I always tell people, like, it's not the strongest that will survive; it's the ones most adaptable to change, right?
Mm,
If the strongest survive, we'd still have dinosaurs. We don't have dinosaurs. What we
yeah,
do have is fucking cockroaches, and
yeah,
they were around in the fucking dinosaur era. And so the reason is because they're able to adapt and evolve with the current changing times. And so what I'm doing is this: I'm developing PFP market. My focus is like, okay, sell this art, get money in, right? It's all about getting money into the door. And so once I have money in, then I'm gonna look at the space and be like, where are we going? If it's not going anywhere, focus on selling art. All right, it's going somewhere, guys. Look, there's a new innovation that fucking XRP just created, the new foundation for new NFTs, and everyone's jumping on the train.
yeah,
We now have $40,000 to play with. Let's fucking go that way. And that's
yeah,
what I mean, be able to adapt, because and I think that's where most people in the web space kind of fuck up too, and including myself, is when you make a roadmap, people expect you to follow that roadmap to the core, even
yeah,
if it's not gonna succeed. And to me, I'm like, well, I need to be able to adjust and adapt. And if I don't, we're just gonna run into a wall.
yeah,
And and so for me, it's really like I just look at it like what's going on right now and what's working, right? Because the metaverse land, I mean, NFT worlds at one point was 16 Ethereum, right? We could have said like, oh, NFT worlds are the new meta. Now they're like probably like 4 or 2.
yeah,
And so it's kind of like if you saw that. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I told my community like, hey guys, we're gonna go purchase an NFT worlds, right? What's it at right now? Let's check them out.
I
That's
remember.
their coin.
I remember this thing was
So I'll give you an example. Let's say I bought an NFT worlds because I told everybody, hey guys, we're gonna do fucking, this is the meta, this is where everybody's at, blah blah blah. It would have probably been better for me to sell at 16 Ethereum and use those 20, 40, $100,000 to reinvest it in my company. You see what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Instead of like, guys, nah, let's fucking keep this. This is gonna be the new meta. It's gonna be forever. It's like, nah, well, there's probably a lot more. Like you could have even sold it and bought it back at 3, and we're still good. Now we got
Yeah,
land and we got money. You know what I mean?
yeah, you got
And
both.
so that's how I look at things. It's like, okay, what works now, and how can you evolve and adapt? And for me, what I think the next stage for us is the PFP DAO marketplace. And once I start making a good concurrent revenue off of it, using part of those funds to navigate the space and then also feed it back into the ecosystems that have brought me up.
Wow. This is like this has potential too, and I think that when
No, I think it's gonna do great.
yeah,
It's definitely, but like it's like where can you put your money to work now and not later?
exactly.
Because this might kick off in a year, which
Yeah.
is like maybe. I mean, the NFT space moves every day. Feels like a week.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like if, and that's the thing too. Like if you take a break, bro, I'll give you an example. If somebody as a founder, so I'm a founder, if for some reason I don't show up in the Discord for 3 days, rug, you rugged us.
Yeah.
You're
You
gone for
disappeared.
72 hours.
Yeah.
Like that way, like it's a fucking weekend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and so the
You
NFT
rocked
space is like
us.
that.
Yeah.
The NFT is like that, bro. You either show up or you're fucking gone.
And then they'll leave the Discord, move on. Like it's like you're on your toes because they're looking at you to build upon and fulfill your obligations to the roadmap, etc., to your project, to your vision, etc. So that's why one of the last few questions I have is you were mentioning the team that you had. So like the team that you've assembled, were most of these people like some of the people that you knew, like, obviously like in the real world, and then you took them on your journey with you, or did you meet these people along the way? Like how did that come about?
So it depends. I usually seek people out. So I'll give you an
Okay.
example. I'm a graphic designer. I've been a graphic designer for 10 years, but I'm able to recognize when someone's better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember I was on TikTok. I saw this guy doing some illustration, right? And he's fucking amazing. This kid is a fucking beast. This kid never even stepped into the NFT space, and I swear to God, he would have been a fucking legend. And I remember I saw his art, and I was like, damn, this guy's amazing. I reached out to him on a DM on TikTok, and I said, hey, would you mind remastering a piece I have? And he's like, oh, sure. I think he charged me like $400, $500. I don't even remember. But I paid him to draw one illustration, which was the Crypto Cannibals OG.
Yeah.
Like I have an illustration I did, and I told him, hey, can you do what I did, but in your style? And so he did, and I built off of that. And so a lot of the team members that are in my community are either I find them on TikTok or I find them on social media or they come in my Discord. So a lot of it depends. Like the creative director for most of my projects, he's a friend of mine. Luckily, he's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
That lives here in the same city. Well, right now he's in LA, but he used to live in the same city as me, and he was really good at drawing, like extremely good. And I did the same thing. I was like, hey, like, you know, you should get into NFTs. Like I do this and this and that, and like you do the art, and I'll help you sell it. And he's like, all right, cool. And so now he does the art for me, and I market it.
Wow. So you assembled a team just from reaching out, etc. And then some people like you knew. That's amazing. Because I always wondered, I'm like, most people have the problem, right, where they're getting into something like, especially like when it comes to like NFT or crypto. Most people don't want to like learn about it, or they have their own thing going on, right? Your friends that you grew up with or whatever the case may be, right? And you're like, hey, I'm doing this journey, and most of them are like, probably like,
Bro,
nah, I'm good.
None of my friends own my NFT, bro.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? Like I'm building something here, man. You gotta get into it. You're excited as I am with crypto.
Like it's, bro, and this is like taught me a lot. So I'll give you an example. When I was having those $20,000 months, I would tell my friends, bro, and these are friends that have seen me with absolutely fucking nothing. These are friends that saw me with the negative $300 with no money in my pocket and nothing. And I would tell them like, guys, I fucking made 20K this month. Like, are you guys not fucking seeing what's going on? And they would, none of them, bro, none of them reached out to me after. They didn't give a fuck. And I was like, all right, fuck it.
Is because the cash wasn't there, or because it was valued in the NFT? What do you think?
I don't know, bro. Yeah. I don't know. And I would tell them, like, you guys have the most fucking valuable missing link, and it's me. You don't gotta do anything else. Like, you have access to the #1 dude that is making this shit happen. Like, you can literally ask me, hey, where should I do this? Oh, here. Just do it there. Right there. Literally, just copy paste. Copy paste. You don't gotta think. You don't gotta spend 2 days in NFTs. All you gotta do is spend 5 fucking minutes, set up a fucking MetaMask, and I'll do the rest.
Exactly.
And guess how many of them took up on my offer?
0.
None.
No.
None. The only ones that took me up on my offer was my fucking 19-year-old sister. She told me, she was like, because she would see me and she would help me draw too. And so she was like, I'm gonna give you $400. to like put in some NFTs. Well, she's made 5K. You know what I mean? So the only one that took me up made money. So I was like,
Yeah.
cool, good job. You're smart.
Yeah,
you
there you
actually
go. Hey, the same genes, right? The same bloodline, like so she knows. It's in it.
Yeah, so she took a risk because like, and it's weird, dude. I get it. It's weird to like, and I get it because most of the when I first started, people were like, "You spent $2,000 on a fucking JPEG? Like, what's wrong with you?" And then I'd be like, "Yeah, but I just flipped it for like 6K or 5K." Like,
They don't
and they would
see
say like,
it.
"What?
It's not
How?" And
real
I'm like,
money.
"Let
Yeah.
me show you, bro. Like, let me show you. Not fucking rocket science."
Did so like well, another thing I want to like this is just a piggyback off of that. So on top of that, right, the NFT space, when it came to TikTok, did any of them see you making content and what did they think about it? Because that was another thing that I was like dealing with too, where I just started making TikToks and I started screaming and it started completely different to how I am, kind of like when I talk to people and express knowledge. So when they saw your TikTok, your first channel, the one that blew up, was that something they took serious to you? Like, did they take it serious, or were they just like, "We're like, what are you doing on TikTok?" Like, what is? Because that's the stigma, like to a lot of now. Before, well, obviously Gary Vee said it. In the next few years, everyone's gonna be on TikTok, whether as a creator or a consumer. But they're gonna be on TikTok right now. A lot of people are like kind of hesitant towards it. They're like stuck on Instagram, and they don't want to change over there. So when you were doing your TikToks, did you say, I don't care who sees it, I don't care if any of my high school friends see it, I don't care if any of my family members see it? Like, did you just shield that off and just started? Cause you said you said you cried on the camera.
Yeah,
You were
fuck,
raw,
bro.
authentic, like that didn't even bother you, huh? Like you didn't have no thoughts about it. Anyone seeing?
Nah, I mean, at first I did, and that was where, and see, this is like and this is, I think this is huge alpha. What I'm about to tell people right now.
Yeah.
I think it's huge alpha, and if you really understand it and take it to heart, you're gonna be able to change your life in many ways. I used to be a perfectionist as much as I could. So like, if you look at my Instagram and you look at my old feed, they're all super nice pictures. They're all choreographed, perfected, for everything. The day that I said, you know what, I need to figure this shit out no matter what. I don't give a fuck how I look and shit like that. I just went all in. And so what I would do, I got this strategy from my cousin. So my cousin has a TikTok that has about 80,000 followers. He talks about boxing. So he's all about like boxing and shit. And I remember I had like maybe 1,000, 2,000. And I asked him, I was like, how did you get all those followers? And he was like, this is how I do it. If I want to make a video, I get the camera and I say, hey guys, this is blah, 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 and I fucking put it down and I move on. He's like, I don't think about it. I don't fucking look at the edit. I don't do anything. I just point the camera to my face. I talk about it and I move on. And so at first I was like, yeah, but you got to know what to say. He's like, no, you don't. You just post it and forget about it. Just post it and forget about it. And so how I started, I was like, fuck it. Like, just talk about whatever the fuck's on your mind. And so I would literally, bro, I'd post, I mean, in the last 4 days, I've posted 50 TikToks.
I saw.
And,
I need to ask you about that after.
And so I started doing that. I was like, fuck it, just start posting a shit ton. Who gives a fuck if you look stupid? Because I'm self-conscious sometimes, like not really anymore because I'm always on the camera. But like at first I was like self-conscious about it, like, oh, you gotta have the right camera. You look, you're trying to get girls, like they gotta look at you looking good. Like, and then so I came from that like thought process.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck it, these girls ain't gonna help me get money. Like I gotta do this myself. And so I just fucking point that shit on my face and just start recording and not give a fuck. And literally like, and bro, trust me, I have people talk shit to me on TikTok every single fucking day. I'm sure you get hate too.
Yeah.
And again, I think the secret is if you're able to build a brand and then build an audience off that brand and then sell to them, that's going to change your life.
Exactly.
If you're able to build a brand and the brand is you and people fuck with you, they like you, they know you and they trust you, and you have a product or service that you can sell, you're going to change your life. You're guaranteed almost 6 figures, I think, for sure. If you know if you fucking play it right. But I think, and it's cool, bro, because it sets you up. Like right now, like I've never made 6 figures up until last year. Last year was the first year I broke through, trying to make 6 figures or whatever. And then I got it. And I was like, oh my God, the formula. Next.
Yeah.
You know what the formula is? Post 1 million TikToks, create a brand. So that's literally the formula, at least for me. That's the formula to make 100 grand this year. Make a brand, create a TikTok, go all in, fucking try to amass as much people as you can to follow you. And then once you have this fucking huge crowd, create a product or service to sell to. I think it only takes, if I'm not mistaken, here, I'll give an example. Let me see. It takes 2,380 people to sell 100,000 at $43, right? Depends. You could even break it down even less. Like you can do like, let's say $13 a month. And for me, I really like and I need to figure out how to set this up, but I really fuck with recurring revenue models. I think those are the best. Those are the ones that are truly golden. Like Netflix, anything that people can subscribe to, and then even if it's $10, they fucking pay it the next month, you're golden, because all you're doing is amassing as much people to just go and subscribe as possible. And so, like, let's say you have a $16 product. Let's say you get 5,000 people to just pay $16 just to, and then all you got to do, and this is what people don't understand, and this is huge for people that are listening. All you got to do is make sure whatever product or service you're selling is worth more than $16. That's it. You got to just make sure that it would be worse if these people left and it's just 16 fucking dollars, right?
Yeah.
So if you get $16 times, let's say 5,000 people, that's 80 grand a month. And I want you to think about that again. $16, 5,000 people. I can make a TikTok, and this is what I mean. I can build a TikTok to have 200,000 followers. And I can say, hey guys, I made some random ass course that's fucking $16 a month, and this is what we do, this is what we provide, this is what we do. But obviously, you got to make sure that the product or service that you're providing is worth at least bare minimum, bare bones, the $16.
Yeah.
If you have an audience of like fucking 100,000, at least 1,000, that's 1%. At least 1,000 of them are gonna be like, oh, like I fuck with this dude. I've been following him for a while. Like $16 is not gonna hurt. Now you've created probably even more. You've probably created a revenue of probably like 250,000 plus a year.
Oh yeah, that's what it takes.
Simple.
That's all it is, and that's what you see. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, and the secret is. The secret is building the audience. And how do you build the audience? You post the shit ton of TikToks. You show up every day. You create the content. You
provide
on
value.
The podcast, lives. Yeah, and you provide the value. And I mean, and if you want to kind of spin on the Andrew Tate stuff, that's what he does. He does $50 a month. This guy makes like $4 million a month.
That's
just off of the.
That was the last question I was asked, because I was just like, he's taking over the internet right now. He's all over the internet. And I remember I saw your TikTok. You said you bought his course, and you have something that's like linked to your Discord, right? To where it came from. It's kind of like his something you had access to, and he didn't have, like a lot of people didn't have access to. It was like
I don't know,
some tips or something like that.
So I have access to his. So they're just lessons. They're just lessons. It's just advice. It's literally like, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and I guess like new members that sign up don't have access to that. I don't know, like maybe I got lucky and I signed up at the right time, but I have access to that. And so I just copied it and pasted it in my Discord.
That's awesome.
But
so what's up with that? Like the Andrew Tate thing, what made you join it, and what are you doing? What's your plans with that? Like are you posting every day? Like what is he teaching you in there, or what are you learning from in there? Like a lot.
I'll give you an example. The very first lesson that he teaches is speed. And so for me, why do I go to a Gary Vee event? Why do I go to a Tony Robbins event? Why do I go to 10X Grant Cardone event? Because they're going to teach you applicable advice that you can then use to 10X your business, and also creating a network of people that fuck with you, right?
Yeah.
That's all it is. And so for me, I haven't done anything in Andrew's Discord except for read the lessons. Yeah. That's all I did. I read the lessons. I even have them right here. So I have all the lessons written down that I like, all the valuable advice that I got. I wrote it all down. I wrote it down, and then I said, okay, I own an NFT business, right? I said, how can I apply my NFT business to the advice that I was given? Mm-hmm. And so I applied it right away, and probably like in 2 days, I made $1,500.
Wow.
Yeah, and so for me, $50 is worth it, because the advice that I was given is good. It's good shit. It's good shit, bro. And it's really smart. It's super smart. I know a lot of people are like against Andrew Tate because obviously he's very outspoken, and sometimes the shit he says is just really crazy.
I think it's tight. I like Andrew Tate. Yeah.
No, I fuck with him a lot, bro. Like, and it's cool because like even for me, like there was a clip where I don't know if you've seen the Aiden Ross interview, but he tells Aiden Ross asks him, he's like, hey, how do I what's the fastest way to get a six-pack?
Yeah.
And Andrew Tate's like, why does it gotta be fast? Why can't you fucking work for it? Why can't you suffer? Why can't you put in the time? He's like, that's your problem. He's like, that's why you're broken. He's like, you're looking for a solution when the solution is you working your ass off to get it. He's like, because if it was easy, everyone would have it. And that to me, it's very inspiring because like I now seek that discomfort. Yesterday, I made a goal to post 20 TikToks. I didn't want to post 20 TikToks. I don't want to fucking sit for 5 hours creating videos and editing. I don't want to do that. But then to me, like when someone like Andrew Tate says, like, you got to, and there's no fucking choice. And if you don't want to, then you're gonna be a loser. That's it. And so to me, it's like, fuck that. I don't want to be a fucking loser. I want to be somebody in my life. I want to. And now it's like, I swear to God, it made me like rethink like shit that's hard. And now I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, what's hard? What can I do to suffer today? Not in a bad way, but like, what can I do that I know other people are probably not going to do? And it's funny because same people will say the same thing. It's just a different character. Gary Vee says the same thing. Work your ass off. Fucking 20 years of my life, 12 hours a fucking day, 6 hours a week. What does that mean? That
No
means
partying,
get up here,
nothing.
get that shit done. Fucking David Goggins, you gotta suffer. You gotta put your mindset into it. You gotta do that shit. I mean, look at all the stories of Kobe Bryant. While everybody's out partying, what is he doing? He's in the gym. He's fucking working. He's fucking getting it. He's doing it. And it's the same message that Andrew Tate is saying it, obviously just in a way more direct fucking style and format. And so for me, like, and I fuck with Gary Vee. I love Gary Vee, but I also love fucking Andrew Tate. And I fucking love David Goggins. I love Joe Rogan. I love Grant Cardone. I love Alex Hormozy. I love Brad Lee. Like these are, and for me, like that's where I'm at. I don't judge the teacher. Wherever I'm getting the knowledge is cool with me, as long as it's the truth.
Yeah, be a sponge.
Yeah, absolutely. And he even says that in an interview. He's like, if Mike Tyson goes up to you and says you're a pussy and you can't fight and you get butthurt about it, that's your problem. It's fucking Mike Tyson. Get over it. Do something about it. And it's the truth, bro. It's like, and you know why? I feel like most people, and I'll tell you this is the truth because I did this too. Most people will not like his advice because they're speaking to them. They're speaking like you're the one that's not doing that shit. Yeah. It's you. You get defensive over that. And how do I know that? Because it's me too. Because I want to seek the easiest route. I want the easiest shit. And then when he says like you're a fucking bitch because you don't want to suffer, you don't want to do it. You don't want to, and you're a loser for that. And you're like, and to me, that's like, personal. Instead of being like, oh, fuck this guy, instead of being like that, I just sit down and like, he's right, bro. Yeah. Why am I not pushing myself? Why am I not getting up? Why am I not getting after it? Why don't I have enough to take care of I take care of my family and shit, but like I think of shit like that. I'm like, nah, like go do it, suffer, figure it out, go through it. And then it motivates you to just fucking go into it like that. At least for me, it does.
It's accountability. It like makes you think about accountability. Like I gotta hold myself accountable. No one else will. You have to do it yourself. You have to take a step back and say, what the hell? Am I happy where I am? Like, it's no one's fault but my own. Gotta get my ass up and take care of the situation. These are the cards that I was dealt. I gotta play them until I get a good hand, right? And that's like one of the critical things that I've learned growing through, our journey. I feel like the people that get it, that understand what you're saying right now, they get it. And the people that don't, you're just going to find an excuse. Just going to find an excuse to not hear it. No, you don't know. I have this happen to me, this, that. I'm like, dude, there's people with way less stories than us that have made it. Way less. Oh, absolutely. Jail, like getting evicted, living in their car, like so much stuff that's happened that they persevered and they say, I want a better life. And like I said, the people that get it, they get it. And the people that just want to make excuses will never get it. They'll never get it because they don't hold themselves accountable. They're pointing their finger at other people. Who are you to say? Yeah. Who are you to judge me? I don't like Andrew Tate. How's he calling me a loser? And then they find up ways to bring him down. I'm like, this guy's successful. He could be off the grid. He could be off the grid, living a comfortable life, but he's trying to help anyone who wants to listen. Gary Vee too, Yeah,
no, and again, it's the same teachers. Gary Vee's saving lives. When he makes content, you get off your ass and do it. David Goggins, Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate, bro. These people are literally changing lives and saving them because they're inspiring young men to get off their ass and do shit and get it and go after it and chase your dream. And even though you're gonna chase your dream, understand that it's gonna be extremely hard, but fucking do it anyways.
I think that's how we gotta end it because I'm like pumped. Bro, I really appreciate you for coming on. This was amazing. This was like, I think people need to hear this during times like this when people's portfolios are down, people's NFT projects are down, like in regards to money. People want to hear this. Don't give up. Don't sell at a loss, and get hurt and leave the space and just, I'm turning off my phone. I'm gonna turn off this and just go back to watching Netflix and going back and going out or whatever. Right? It's over. Don't have that mentality. I feel like you need to stay in this space. You need to continue to build and learn as much as you can. So when the rebound comes back, you're just 10 times ahead of everybody that left.
Now's the time, bro. Now's the time. People are leaving. Now's the time.
Yeah.
Learn Web development. Get better at graphic design. Fucking understand the
Network.
space. Get in the. Yep.
Do everything.
Now's the time.
But yeah, I want to thank everyone who listened this far. I'm gonna link Alan's everything, all his links in the description below. I want to give a huge shout out to Alan for hopping on the podcast. This was a great podcast. This is fire conversation. I hope we do this again sometime. You guys need to follow him on TikTok, follow him on Twitter. I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Cool. Appreciate you, bro.